Can I do center vertically? Yes, I can. Very good. Get rid of that. And I'm going to start. This is the solo challenge I'm going to be doing. This is a sneak peek, just like Shuffle Time 3. Only difference is this is actually going to count as a part 1. This is a sneak peek of the challenge that I'm going to be doing after Trail's second chapter. This is the solo Fiesta. Tycoon means that I can get any tier of job that came before. Wind Crystal will be a Wind Crystal job. Water Crystal will be a Water or Wind Crystal job. Fire Crystal will be any of those 3 crystals jobs. And Earth will be basically any job. And then 5th job, later in the game when I get Krile, it will roll another job that I replace, theoretically, my Earth Crystal job as rules as written, but replace a job with 5th job. So yeah, I'm doing 2 Fiestas this year. Maybe that'll get it to stop yelling at me. Because I've had encoding overload errors all day. But yes, hello everyone. Hello everyone watching this from YouTube land. Yeah, this is 2 Fiestas in 1 year. And I may make a habit of this. I don't know. I don't know at this time. But I wanted to do a solo one, but I also wanted to play with friends. So, good idea. Let's do both. A side was with Emmy and Darun, Effector of Change. You know, living up to my perceived role as the challenge run dealer of Twitch.television. And as a challenge run enthusiast, I love the 4-job Fiesta, and as someone whose 2025 has not been challenge run heavy, well, let's do 2 Fiestas. Otherwise, the rules are the same. I get a job. It is the only job I can have. Each job must be represented. I think duplicates can happen in this run. I'm not 100% sure. We will burn that bridge when we get to it. And unlike a normal Fiesta, I don't know what job I'm going to get from my Wind Crystal. I don't know if this raid train is part of a Fiesta. I genuinely do not know. Is that gonna get it to stop yelling at me? It might actually. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. So I didn't need to delete the other thing. Life is like a 4-job Fiesta. Ah. So I'm excited and nervous about this one because this is a special run. But also, yeah, I need to do more challenge runs this year. It's been challenge run light. Because I finished Shuffle Time, because I played Trails, because I wanted to do other stuff, because Shuffle Time 2 took up a lot of time. Do we count Shuffle Time 2 as a challenge run? It's a solo archipelago and just a bunch of randos, but like, I don't know, I might count it. Meteor! Meteor, I'm trying to talk here. Meteor, I'm trying to have a conversation with my chat. And yeah, this is a completely separate file, for lack of a better term. Let's go green. Let's go green. How dark of a green? Ooh, that's actually a very pretty green. Let's go green for this one. Why? Because I can. And also so I really don't get confused when I inevitably load the wrong game between Fiestas. But this is a sneak peek. This is a sneak peek at the challenge run I'll be doing after Trails, just like Shuffle Time 3 during the last raid train was a sneak peek at what I'll be doing after Trails also. Please look forward to more Trails in the Sky, SC, and the stuff that comes after. And since I'm flying solo, I'm probably going to treat this as a Let's Play and commentate on it a lot. Also because I'm starting this really, really late at night. And like, I'll still respond to chat and stuff, but like, gonna continue to use the correct canonical name and I will die on this hill. But yeah, the opening of this game, everything from the start all the way to Wing Raptor, I basically kind of have on a script. Bart has a short sword or a broadsword, I forget. I think it's a short sword. Regardless, Bart has a sword, Lena has a knife, Galuf has these fists his. And Ferris comes in equipped with the equivalent of a broadsword. Bart's can one-shot any enemy up until Wind Shrine. I think even through Wind Shrine. Galuf and Lena cannot. Ferris absolutely can. When I get to Tool, I will buy one broadsword for Galuf. Or actually for Lena, but like for Galuf. And then I'll find the third broadsword in the Wind Shrine itself. Wing Raptor is just hold A mode as long as I'm level 2 or higher. Usually I'm about level 3, but it should be fine. Also, like in the other run, I am not paying attention to story at all. There are bits I will call out, like, you know, a certain Splinter scene, but otherwise, yeah, no, we're just going. I will introduce myself properly in about 35 minutes when I get raided into. Oh, I have a splinter. Proceeds to not remove it. I know, right? I get a splinter. I'm digging at that thing for 45 minutes and I genuinely don't care. You can hear the brakes on the Chocobo. Bad Chocobo. Can't stay mad at Chocobo. So for these battles, we are also in hold A mode because Bart's can one-shot them and it is just faster. I'm gonna get hit once for 4 damage. And then it falls over. Now the worst job I can get is Thief, the second worst is White Mage. Once again, hold A. I'm gonna get hit for 4 damage again. And then this thing dies to 32 damage unless I crit somehow. I don't think you can crit, or maybe you can, I don't know. Collect, collect. Several cutscene will play in solo, I guess. Final Fantasy V is my second favorite in the franchise, mostly because of the replayability inherent in the job system in the 4-job Fiesta. but also it doesn't really take itself seriously. It is among my favorite Final Fantasy OSTs. My favorite is Final Fantasy VI. My favorite video game of all time is Final Fantasy VI. I don't replay it as often, but yeah, that one's by far my favorite. Final Fantasy V is a lot of replayability. It is among my favorite OSTs and is my favorite Final Fantasy randomizer. Which is kind of a lie because Mystic Quest is also a really good randomizer, but I digress. Its story isn't as deep or heavy as Final Fantasies 4 or 6. 3 also has the job system, yeah. 3 had the job system beforehand. 5 took it and expanded upon it, you know, removed the things that didn't work and added things that did. Really, like, I love Final Fantasy 3. It is my 3rd favorite Final Fantasy. Mostly because I played Pixel Remaster, but... Wait here, Chocobo! I think I'm gonna get into an encounter. Oh, never mind. Lena does not kill things in one hit. Galoof and Lena can double up on something, but if you just hold A, it's gonna take more turns. Lena also is faster, so realistically I should just give her the broadsword. There was no getting around it because Lena went first. Maybe I should just give her the broadsword. I never do that. Each of them gained a level. I don't think it's enough for Lena to one-shot bats anymore, but I could be wrong. I know the crabs are not one-shottable with Lena. Do you one-shot now? Nope. I really should just make a habit of Lena hits the one in the back. For just 2 enemies. Also, I should have had Bartz hit the crab, but you know. Because, yeah, Galoof cannot hurt them. Lena is going to go first. This is like the only part of the game I can really like do much actual in-battle commentary on. Why am I running? Unlike 6 and later, you can't just change turns, so it's like kind of annoying when the turn order doesn't cooperate like it is currently not doing, like having Lena go first. Gonna get a cutscene showing a pirate opening a skull door. I really am treating this like a Let's Play. Normally I don't stream this late, but I wanted to join this raid train and this was like a really good slot to take. And also it let me like continue playing Fiesta with friends. Oh, now you can one-shot? Okay. They really don't like Lena for some reason. Also, my encounter rate is like astronomically high. Like, seriously, what is with this encounter rate? Another one of my favorites is Final Fantasy Tactics for the reason of, you guessed it, job system. Job system RPGs are inherently more fun for me because, like, If I'm stuck on a boss in a job system game, I can change what job I'm using. Whereas in a static game like Final Fantasy IV, level up, lol. I like a little bit more changing of my strategy rather than get big number. Not that there isn't some level up shenanigans in FF5, but I played this game enough times. Anyway, this works out because by the time I get rated into, I will be out of the intro section. Let's steal from pirates. Whose idea was this? I have amnesia. Gonna open that for no reason. Yo ho ho and stuff. Anyway, we got kidnapped by the pirate. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's the start of a Final Fantasy game. It's long. Like, the opening is the opening of like any other Final Fantasy, so yeah. Sky Pirate? Yeah, I'm a Sky Pirate. There is a world where I do want to rebrand to actually stream as Sky. But, like, I also really like just being myself as well. Like, I wouldn't go full-on RP ever, because I've decided that isn't for me. But there's, like, a world where I do want to rebrand into Sky. Like, if I ever made my own RPG, that wasn't my Lesser Evils project, I'd want to do it in the vein of FF5, I think. And 6 is my favorite game, but for a lot of personal and emotional and nostalgic reasons, I gotta be careful not to mash A too much when I get out of the port. I have to say no so I can sail to Tool. There's also a little bit of a story I would love to write in FF5's universe. What if Captain Ferris had a first mate? That was like in the same boat as Ferris. As in, you know, a woman having to act like a man in a world of pirates. It could be a fun story. I don't know what I would do with that story per se, and how it would work out long term, but it is a very fun idea to kind of mull around the brain. It is another facet of me for anyone unfamiliar with me. I'm introducing myself as if, you know, people who don't know me are here yet. But I do like to take Final Fantasy stories and kind of twist them and do what ifs and stuff like that. Do not mash A button. Do not mash A button. Do not mash A button. No. Good. And then that guy was thrown off of the pirate boat for trying to sail the pirate boat. Beer! They're doing piratey things and raiding the tavern. And Ferris does as well, which doesn't matter because I'm not changing her equipment anyway. So yeah, first off, there's a lot of hidden items in barrels and pots and stuff. I know this from the randomizer, and it's mostly just like potions and stuff, but I'm gonna loot them anyway. Because it's free stuff, you know. Like, I may as well. Who wouldn't? Like a free Phoenix down, for example, those are really expensive and just really nice to have. Lena's gonna point out whose house this is. That'll be important in like a dungeon. Free accessory. I am going to buy a broadsword, and I think nothing else. I could be wrong. I might want to buy some defensive stuff, but also, I never need it. See ya. Very nice of Ferris to come in so I can, like, compare equipment before she, like, joins me permanently. Everyone is that. I could buy... I'm gonna buy 2 of these. Everyone has leather armor. Because I think I get a leather cap in the Wind Shrine as well. I could be very wrong about that. I know I get another broadsword right before Wing Raptor, so that's really good. Actually, I'm going to save all of that for after Wind Shrine, just because it's easier. Let's dance! And by that I mean, get off the stage, I want to play the piano. No one cares about your burlesque dancing. I am just here to play the piano. Wah. Level up. I have to flex on all the pianos, so... You can get a cutscene here that hints at Ferris's reveal and plot twist later. I don't really need to. This isn't a story run. There's a lot of story I'm going to be skipping. Because a lot of the early game story is, in fact, quite skippable. So we're going to go up here to the Wind Shrine. We're going to save and go up here to the Wind Shrine. We're going to get several cutscene in sequence. Gasp. Now let's get some free potions and some free heal estate. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, before I get into a battle, let's give you the broadsword. Actually, second thought. Because you're so fast. I'm going to fight everything, even though there's like one specific enemy I am looking for. Won't run into it now, but we're just like, again, in hold A mode. I am like way over leveled for this. Actually, no, I'm not. I usually am 3 going into 4. Right, okay. I'm still in really good shape for the boss. Like, I don't really need to heal. Like, I'm just in good shape. Unless I get back attacked like 5 million times. I knew there was another leather cap. Okay, who's missing one? You. Got a leather cap. And then this is a broadsword. And then we go up to the wing raptor and we hold A. That's it. That's the strat. Yeah, oh, here it comes. If you're level 3 with everybody and bought 1 broadsword, you basically cannot lose. And because bosses don't give EXP, unless you're playing the randomizer, it doesn't matter if someone mysteriously dies or not. Like, if Wing Raptor decides not to use Breathwing and just bully someone, that's usually how this goes. The enemy I'm looking for is Moldwind. It can drop elixirs. Yep, not potions, not high potions, not ethers, elixirs. You are back up to full strength on a single target. You can just farm them here. This dungeon is available at the end of the game, and so are the enemies in it. Expect me to do a spot of that on or off screen at some point. Alright, we are in the crystal thing here, crystal shards. We are gonna get jobs, and I'm gonna figure out. I have a 2/3 chance of actually having a very easy time, and a 1/3 chance of having a very difficult time. Basically, if I get Thief, I'm super mega screwed. If I get White Mage, I am mostly super mega screwed. If I get literally any other job, I'm in good shape. And I'm very nervous. And when I reveal the job to myself, I'm not going to react. Incoming White Mage, don't say it, don't speak it into existence. It would be karma because that's what Effector went through. Effector in A-side went through exactly that, and I would rather it not be spoken into existence. I want Knight, if I'm being honest. I haven't had a Knight or a Monk start on screen, I don't think. I'd have to look at Fiesta's past, but... Thus you have been chosen as Warriors of Light. When I do that voice, I am channeling little Karibo's Dragon Ball Z abridged narrator voice, kind of. I am actually, like, kind of channeling LK a little bit. With the memory of their struggle buried in their hearts. Bye, King Tycoon, who is plot relevant to this plot for some reason, despite not being a Dawn Warrior. It's time for the drum roll. Why is it? Oh, it's way over there. Okay. Nine, 8, 7, and 82. Why is it not going where I want? Oh, because I did it wrong. Well, it's in the right spot that way. Where is it not right this way? Oh, because... Okay. Okay. There we go. That'll do for now. I'll fix it in post. Dove says shit in front of a crystal. Yup. Then you can hear Megalovania playing, yep. I want it for noted for the record, Mint, you spoke it into existence. So I'm in for a rough time. Hey, good news, I don't have to worry about making sure I get a good water crystal sprite before, you know, this starts. This must be karma for having two really good Fiestas while Effector had two really bad ones. Chocobo wave! For the record, I'm not, like, legitimately mad. I'm, like, for a bit mad. I won't have to worry about healing. Early game, I will. Early game, I'm gonna have to worry about healing a lot. Cure doesn't do much of anything early game. On the bright side, I've done this start before. Okay, let's get everyone in the back row, and that's where they're gonna live. 4 white mages? It'll never work. Mean thoughts and prayers. Thank you. I'm gonna need them. Effector was able to get through it, so will I. And I've done this before. It's not the worst start. But it is the second worst. On the bright side, yeah, late game, this is going to be a lot. This is going to be really nice. I'm going to have access to some really beefy healing and buffs and res and holy. Like, late game, this is going to be really good. I'm not going to replace this with 5th job at all. But this is a very rough start. Like, I'm gonna need to grind, and I'm gonna want to do it in the Wind Shrine for elixirs. Thief is the worst start, yes. Because not only does it not do a lot of damage, it also doesn't have any form of defense or healing outside of potions. Garula with Thief start is a nightmare. You have better damage, but marginally. Like, Thief is by far the roughest start. This is a pretty decently close second. The other 4 starts are pretty easy. Black Mage, I think, is the easiest. Blue Mage has a good start. Knight is really easy. And Monk is pretty easy, too. I think it would go Black Mage, Knight, Blue Mage, Monk. But like all four are really easy. Black Mage is the easiest start though, like by far. Very, very free start. I accept my karma. I kind of had this coming after the last couple of years. While I don't relish in the thought, we're still gonna do it. Now, I want Red Mage as a water crystal, or just as a job at this point. I want Red Mage at some point very bad. Like, if I get Red Mage, I am in some seriously good business. Because then dual cast with, like, all the forms of white magic. Like, Red Mage, Time Mage, Knight would be, like, the best I can hope for at this point. Like, any one physical job, maybe even Mystic Knight. Samurai is, of course, a very heavy win button, but the odds are so low. Now, before I go run my ads, I want to take care of a little something. Let's go in here. Berserker actually isn't that bad. I don't have a lot of control, but Berserker is not a death sentence. The thing about Berserker, it's only a trap if you get it multiple times. There we go. That's something. This is gonna be a very long run. Alright, I know I have a lot of time left on my ad timer, but I want to make sure that the train doesn't come into ads. So, 3 minutes of ads are going to, where is it? There we go. 3 minutes of ads are going to play. Feel free to get up, stretch your legs, get something to eat or drink, stay hydrated, take your meds if you need to, but don't go too far. We will be right back. I forgot to unmute. Yep, I am back. Hello, hello. And I'm gonna just do a little bit of grinding before stuff gets, you know, before the train arrives. So... by that I mean I'm gonna get cutscenes. But also, thanks for sticking through the ad break. I appreciate it as always. Let me just get through this cutscene really quick. Cutscene. Don't know why the alert's not going off. There it is. I guess the follow alert happened first. Crisis nearby, thank you so much for that raid. And thank you for bringing the raid train, the Oshi train here. Citizens of the Red Mage Village, magical sparrows in my chat room, gather around. Welcome in everybody from Crisis Nearby stream and everybody who has been following the Oshi train up to this point. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in Crisis, Flugel VT, Pockets, Rudron, and anyone else around lurking or otherwise. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in everybody. Happy Pride Month. My name is Dove. Pronouns are she, they. I am a transgender pansexual bird, basically. I am an RPG enthusiast. I'm a retro RPG enthusiast and a professional red mage. I do a little bit of everything. Challenge runs, shufflers, randomizers, the occasional first play, and more. If you like your Final Fantasy, shaken, not stirred, feel free to hit the follow button. I have anonymous follows on. Thank you for those follows leading into the raid, by the way. I appreciate it. I said your name. I try to get names right. I'm bad at it, but I try. But thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it. I hope you had a great stream. I think you were playing Hollow Knight. I was peeking in. But yes, anonymous follows, no pressure, no callouts, but feel free to poke in and say hello. And in the interest of my typical content, I do like challenge runs. And so I'm doing the 4-job Fiesta. Hollow Knight, the GOAT! I love that game. That was my game of the year 2017, I want to say. Like my personal game of the year. So this is the 4-job Fiesta. I'm going to pull up that site here. You were totally prepared and didn't think it was 12 a.m. tomorrow. You're gonna go cry. That's okay, I'm ending at midnight my time. I am technically taking 2 slots in this train because the person that was supposed to be after me could not, unfortunately, keep their slot, and no one else took it. So you have me for the next couple of hours. That website is the long and short of the 4-job Fiesta. Basically, for people unfamiliar with Final Fantasy V, every so often you come across a crystal, it breaks, and from the shards you get jobs. These are the ones that the Wind Crystal gives you. The 4-job Fiesta gives you 1 job per crystal, and you have to have that job in your party at all times. So the wind crystal gave me white mage. So my party is white mages until the water crystal, and I'm going to cry because it is the second hardest start for a Fiesta. So I need to do some leveling because, boy howdy, does white mage have a really rough start. It doesn't do a lot of damage. I can heal kind of though. It's not even FF1 white mage where I have Dia to deal with undead. I can like kind of front row it for now, at least I think. I don't know if staff does more than punching at this point in the game. We'll find out. Anyway, I need to level up a fair bit. No, punching does more. Okay. Yeah, punching does more than the staff at this point. So I got this job revealed to me like right before the raid train came in. Actually, it's about even. Also, Final Fantasy V has a really, really good soundtrack. So it has that going for it. It's my second favorite Final Fantasy. And, my first being 6. I love Final Fantasy 6. Always wanted to play this. It's really good. Don't take my very rough start as indicative of the quality of the game. The other jobs are a lot of fun to play as, and casually you don't really need to like do just all white mages. It'll never work. And I have to make it work. So for example, I get assigned white mage as my wind crystal job. Water crystal job, let's say I get assigned summoner. I would have to have one white mage, one summoner, and the other two could be either white mage or summoner. As long as I have, you know, one of each, it could be 1 and 3, 2 and 2, etc. And then I get, you know, my fire crystal jobs. Let's say I get ninja. I'd have to have one ninja, one white mage, one summoner. The fourth could be any of those 3. And then the earth crystal job, let's say I got samurai. I'd have to have one samurai, one ninja, one white mage, and one summoner. They can trade abilities within each other, but they can't take abilities from outside of the Fiesta jobs. So for like example right now, I cannot say level up black mage to make the beginning of this game easier. Not at all. So I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of the level curve, because doing this little bit of damage against a boss that has 600 health and can paralyze and can do really high damage, and cure doesn't heal a lot. Actually, that's pretty decent heal for this point in the game. I think I just need a staff for Lena, actually. That's only 100 staff. It's, yeah, no problem. I've done a white mage start before. So, like, I'm kind of playing up the griping is a bit. Actually, I'm gonna need 4 staves because I don't think punches hurt Carlabos at all. I've played this game many, many times, and I do the Fiesta every year. It is also a charity. It is a challenge run for charity, raising money for the Palestinian Kids Relief Fund, I believe. Let me double check that. But it is for a good cause. So if you get a really bad start, like say Thief, you can pay money and donate it to charity and get your job re-rolled. Well, there's the campaign button. Yeah, for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. I don't have alerts for anything for it, but it is for a good cause, and I do it every year. I am also a raider from Crisis Nearby because I was lurking. I need to level, but I'm looking for a specific enemy that can drop elixirs, which are full HP and MP restore. But that is a thing. I just really like replaying Final Fantasy, and I think challenge runs are about the only way I could make them interesting for anybody who is not me. Well, that did a lot. I did pretty decent too. Wow, okay. I guess it's time I go buy staves. I have been doing primarily challenge runs for the last 2 or 3 years, somewhere in there. Not exclusively, but primarily. I've done 3 iterations of the Final Fantasy X No Sphere Grid Challenge. I've done Magic Only Final Fantasy VII. I do the Fiesta every year. I'm doing 2 this year. I play a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics, but also I do shufflers, Bizhawk shufflers. Basically, every X amount of time, the game just swaps to a new game. I did 8 classic Super Nintendo RPGs. And that took 11 months, but it was fun and I got through it. I also do randomizers from time to time. Time for you to go find sleep. Good night, Chaos. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much. I want to fluff. Good luck on the sleep hunt. Exactly. Lately, I need luck on the sleep hunt. What other notable challenge runs have I done? I did a run called Black Coffee for Chrono Cross, which was a laundry list of rules and restrictions that really changed how that game played. And I just like playing Final Fantasy over and over again, where it's like, what if I restrict myself from using all the really broken stuff that, like, everyone uses or whatever? Like, Final Fantasy VII, for example. Or no, Final Fantasy 8's another good example. Like Final Fantasy VII, I'm just going to get enemy skill and the game is going to be really easy. Or Final Fantasy 8, I'm going to play like triple triad for 4 hours and the game is going to be really easy. What if I put rules in place to where I can't do all of that stuff? And then see how far I can push to beat the game. The hardest one I did was Final Fantasy X No Sphere Grid, No Summon. That is the hardest challenge run I've ever done. The other reason I'm running, besides not having Moldwins, is I eventually want to power up the chicken knife. No Sphere Grid, No Summon Final Fantasy X is very hard. Oh, the staff is like very variable damage. Okay. The chicken knife. There's very late into this game, there's an NPC that gives you a choice between a sword called the Brave Blade and a knife called the chicken knife. The chicken knife gets stronger the more you have run from battles throughout the entire game. The Brave Blade starts really strong, but the more you run away, the weaker it gets. The Brave Blade is only usable by Knight and Freelancer. The chicken knife is usable by any job that can equip a knife, which is most of them. I wish White Mage was one of them, but, you know, do no harm, I guess. There's an elixir. Love to see it. Because the Brave Blade depreciates in value if you run away a single time, and is also extremely restricted into what can use it, I almost never get it ever. I always go for the chicken knife. Because it can get almost as strong, not quite, but is more versatile and usable. Do no harm, carry big staff. Big stick. Alright, Bards, how much stronger are the staff Bappy hits? Not at all. I think the damage variance is going to be up, though. I just like playing Final Fantasy over and over again. It's how I spent a lot of my teenage years. So, like, on stream, I just like to do the same thing, but, like, with twists to make it more interesting to watch. And thus it has been for the last few years. But I'm the type of person that can't stay in one lane for too long, if that makes sense. I don't want to burn out either, especially because some of the runs I do get kind of difficult. Ended up with non-Nintendo systems. I ended up, like, with a Super Nintendo into the PS1. So RPGs were, like, kind of my thing growing up. Especially the Final Fantasies. I played so many of these. So I do things like occasionally randomizers, which for the unfamiliar is take a game and all of its treasures and items and stuff and just shuffle them around each other. I could open a treasure chest and find like a really powerful end game thing, or a job, or, you know, a spell or something for this game's context. Or like in Zelda, you could open a chest and find a sword or an item, or, you know, just anything. And then the shuffler I did describe every so often drops a save state, goes to another game. And once in a great while, I will do a first-time playthrough. I'm playing The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky second chapter, actually, at the moment, as my main game. Deadly Wolfguard, what is up? Hi, hello. You had a Genesis. One day you want to find a port of something of Sword of Vermilion. I can speak. It's usually in some collections. Very fun. It's come across my radar a couple of times. I've never actually played it myself. I hope you're having a good time zone, Wolfguard. It and Bahamut Lagoon are like pretty high on my list and high on my radar. But I don't do first-time playthroughs very often. Because if I'm doing a challenge run, it's of a game I've played like a million times, right? So if someone comes in, hey, have you done this part? I can just be like, yeah, and I'm doing this for this part, upcoming boss, whatever. If I'm doing a first-time playthrough, it's a little bit more stressful of hoping someone doesn't come in and spoil something, because usually I'm a lot more lax about it when I'm doing a challenge run of a game I've played a billion times. But in a first-time playthrough, it's I want to experience this whole game for the first time myself. And it's a little more stressful and difficult. While experiencing the story, while not knowing the game inside and out and the really broken stuff, and hoping people don't tell me what the really broken stuff is. How close am I? Very. So I don't do first-time playthroughs very often, but they've gone well lately. I have had some games in the past years and years ago, like, spoiled for me to the point of I'm no longer having fun, and I'm just gonna drop the game. Paper Mario 64, I got a lot of backseating towards the very, very end of the game. La Mulana 2 went pretty well, except for someone very early on did spoil, like, the last area for me. Metroid Prime, very minor stuff in Metroid Prime 2, actually. What's even a backseat in Paper Mario? You'd be surprised. It was a lot of, okay, go here, do this, despite me, like, being able to follow the game pretty well. And no matter how many times I timed people out or asked people to stop, still, this is a pretty impressive RPG. The very first dungeon, we already have, like, the final boss from Part 6's Stand Whitesnake. Since I'm just not really doing much of anything of substance right now, let me talk a little bit about myself. A lot of people coming in on this raid train probably have, like, never even heard of me, and that's totally understandable. I joined this raid train because I wanted to, because it's Pride Month, and it's like, hey, here's a Pride Month themed raid train. And then I get to, like, you know, talk about the story of how I came out twice. I am a transgender streamer. I came out in 2016 as non-binary after asking myself what I am affectionately referring to as the gender question, TM. And I realized I was very much not cisgendered male. That was like the obvious answer, but I didn't know like what I was other than that. And then when I found non-binary as an identity, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Let's yeah, that sounds right. I'm probably that. Phew, 39. Okay, I think with everyone else leveling up, I should be okay to take on Carlibos. So I came out as non-binary in late 2016, and I kind of rocked that identity for a long time, and I was pretty happy with it. How close is everyone else? Oh, they are going to level up in the next battle. Understood. And then sometime in 2021-22, my brain started doing the thing of, okay, we're going to ask the gender question again. I think leveling up just gave me a higher ceiling more than anything. And so I'm like, well, but no, non-binary is comfy. I did the coming out thing already. I'm, you know, I'm non-binary and I'm close to agender. But then my brain was like, are you though? And it started asking the gender question again. We're definitely running out. Right, I am at the level where Goblin Punch does a bajillion D damage. I'm not wasting a Phoenix down on this. I think this healing pot will revive Galuf. Yeah, KO'd allies revived. Good. We're gonna try and fight a giant crab scorpion guy. And I think I got like 2 elixirs, so it should be fine. Hello, Aki! What is up? Hi, hello. I hope you're having a good time zone. But yeah, when I went through the second round of asking myself the gender question, TM, I realized I was a lot more feminine leaning than I initially thought. And while I am not currently physically medically transitioning, I do intend to as soon as I possibly can. I need to change a couple of settings because otherwise muscle memory is going to very heavily bite me. Saw the whole situation. I didn't. If it's a certain circle or website's stuff, then no. But yeah, DM me anyway, and we can talk about it after stream for sure. I mean, DM me now because I'm curious and will have anxiety otherwise. This boss is going to be kind of hard. The next boss won't be, then the next boss will be, and then the boss after that is a nightmare. No, Sildra's dying again! How much HP exactly do you have? What am I working with here? Level 5, 650. Okay, vulnerable to lightning. Too bad I can't do anything about that. So, yeah. Need Dramamine, yeah. Oh, double paralyzed? Okay. Right, I just set to memory. Now we all know what that is. How much do I heal? About 35 to 40. Okay, cool. Paralyze another one of my characters immediately, Carlobos, and I'm going to boo you. 36, that's a good hit. Give it up for all the chain paralyzing. Gotta love the paralyzed strats. This boss is only good at one thing, and it is paralyzing me. Give it up for that. Okay, I'm doing actually okay damage. I'm doing okay damage. Now I have to take about this much damage into a 1200 HP boss fight later. Okay, everybody is currently set to attack, so I can just like kind of hold A for a minute. And because bosses in this game don't really have desperation phases, as in they do stuff when they get like low on HP or whatever. I don't really need to keep track of its HP. It is very nice to know at the start exactly without having to open the wiki. Varys, you shouldn't miss. I've done a pretty okay amount of damage, actually. It's a giant bug monster. How do you miss that? It's really, really fast. Anyway, I should not have to worry. Galufwai. I shouldn't have to worry too much about the damage coming out, because this is about all that Carlobos can do. I think like one more good round should do it, if at most. That's a scary one. Bears closing their eyes while swinging? Yeah, absolutely. Probably. Okay, I don't think this boss can crit. A few more good hits should do it. Farts, that's not a good hit, that's a bad not hit. The literal exact op, there we go. Now our sea serpent is going to die, like, one of several times. I'm making light of the game story, but like at the same time I really like this game story. It's from a place of love. I've just played the game a million times. This doesn't feel right! So, The next dungeon is significantly easier because they're undead enemies and I can just cure those to death. I've been streaming in total off and on since 2014. 14, 15-ish. I think 14 is when I started. But I was pure variety and I was very on and off. I just kind of did whatever and I had fun. I just played the games I like, and then I took like multiple month hiatuses and jumped around a lot and had no consistency. And then around 2017 is when I started getting a little more consistent. And then about 2022 is when I started finding my actual niche in challenge runs. I've always danced in and out of challenge runs, but they became my focus because they were the things I had the most fun doing. My friends affectionately refer to me as the challenge run dealer of Twitch. So, you know, want to buy a challenge runs? First one's free. It's just fun. Challenge runs add a lot of replay value. And the Final Fantasies that have job systems are usually the best for that. I want to say there's not a save point on this boat. I think I have to wait until about the end of the dungeon. I do have free heal estate, but there's a very important item I need to grab, like, immediately. It's going to make a lot of this a lot easier. If I don't grab this flail, I don't think I'm beating Garula at all. Alright, who is the strongest in my party? I don't even know if strength factors into this, but we're going to give it to Ferris. We're also going to subsequently move Ferris into the back row. This looks real familiar. How's it going, Kaiser? I'm not currently in a multi with you, so I'm going to be nice to you. Actually, Ferris should just attack no matter what. How's it going? I hope you're having a good time. They're undead too? Okay. The Calcruthals I learned are undead, actually. Still need to finish your run. This is my B-side. I'm doing one with a Factor of Change at Emmy and Jaru. Two really good friends on Twitch. But this is my B-side solo that I'm doing. Okay, in this box we have a tent. Those are nice to get. Since it only takes 2 cures to beat this pack, I'm gonna spread out the MP usage. But also I'm gonna fight like everything because apparently all of it can be, all of these enemies count as undead. I didn't know the crystal snails did. That's news to me, and also I'm very happy about that. My Earth Crystal job in the With Friends A side is Dragoon. Not my favorite, but, you know, I have a heavy now, I guess. And I have a White Mage start. Smile. So I'm doing 2 Fiestas this year. And I really like the 4-job Fiesta. It's just a lot of fun. Challenge runs in, like, job system Final Fantasies add a ton of replay. That Phoenix Town is probably going to be necessary at some point. Cool. It took a full round, but we got there in the end. Hey, look, a knife I'm not allowed to use. You know, because do no harm or whatever, right? Time for the big reveal! The big reveal is that my avatar is asleep. You think anyone would know how to use a knife, especially Ferris, who came equipped with a knife and is a pirate? But no, she becomes a white mage and now can't use a knife anymore. Several cutscene will play in sequence. She says she wouldn't in White Mage School. Exactly. Vector, how you doing? We gotta be careful with those emotes. Twitch will get rid of them in Pride Month. Also, Vector, all the karma I had from having 2 really good runs while you had 2 really bad runs. It's caught up to me, so now I also have the White Mage start. Plop. So my solo has a start. Speaking of Final Fantasy, still learning how to play Magic the Gathering. Been playing Draft on Arena with the set, really bad at it. Same! You blame Emmy. To be fair, Mint spoke this white mage into existence. Now I have to make a difficult decision. By that I mean I'm putting everybody in the back row. Suffer through it, but it pays off later, yeah. Okay, that didn't do much. I mean, granted, from one back row to the other. Are you actually undead? You are! How much HP do you have? Okay, cool. Ferris, buddy. Okay, we're just gonna cure it again. Don't like the GBA sounds. Yeah, especially considering you're playing the PS1, which is one of the best sound fonts for this game's OST. Like, I'm very much looking forward to your reaction to Battle on the Big Bridge when you get there, because it's probably my favorite version of that track ever. No, Record Keeper has my favorite version of Battle on the Big Bridge because it adds, like, Latin chanting for some reason. Yes, I'm not joking. Does this work on you as well, the Mind Flusher? Yep, okay. Listen to that on your Spotify a lot. Yeah, Battle on the Big Bridge is like one of, if not the quintessential Final Fantasy tracks ever. Of all time. 13? 13-2's Battle on the Big Bridge is actually really, really good, yes. 13-2 has a very, very good Battle on the Big Bridge, you're right. Um, 12 has a good one. I want a fluff. Shoutouts to any Xenogears fans. I played that for the first time last year. The map design here is really cool, yeah. Normally, the ship graveyard, ghost ship, haunted ship archetype that a lot of RPGs of the time had really great on me after a while. But this one is actually pretty alright. Pretty harmless for what it is. Now, I'll have to come back here after Siren because this is probably going to be the best spot I'll have to grind before Magisa and Forza Horizon Zero Dawn. Marissa Toho and Forza Horizon Zero Dawn. The boss after Siren. Spent a lot of time grinding here. Yeah, it's everything here is undead, it turns out. I thought the crystal snails weren't. No, it turns out they are. Everything in this map is undead. Needed to get mute for Magisa. Yeah. It's creative. Not only that, they had to make it all fit too. It's really, and you don't even use all of the real estate. There's lots of parts of the ship graveyard you just don't really use that are just set pieces in background. Leading up to the shore here, where you fight Siren, it's actually really good. Dungeon design in FF5 is really good. If I had played 5 as a kid, it would be my favorite. Of course, if I played Chrono Trigger as a kid, that would be my favorite, and I would be very, very different bird right now. And call myself like Chrono Vey or something. Alas, Final Fantasy is what shaped me. Final Fantasy VI is my favorite video game of all time because when I was 6 years old, it shaped me. It was a video game which I had played a few at the time. You know, I played Mario and Duck Hunt. I played Tetris. I played insert licensed video game here. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers comes to mind. Mickey's Mousecapade for the NES came to mind. A bunch of stuff on like Ataris and stuff like that. And then when I was in kindergarten, I had this like Big Brother kind of program with like college students who were, I guess, trying to get degrees in teaching or in education, I should say. And he brought over his Super Nintendo and Final Fantasy VI. And like, while I wasn't able to fully follow the story, he was helping me comprehend and read it and what does this word mean, etc. And as a child, I really, really loved reading. I love stories. I forgot to move everybody to the back row. 900 HP is a lot. She's not undead yet, but we got time. Oh, you can just do that back, huh? Am I supposed to be impressed? Oops. Well, Bart's is super healed now. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this until you go undead. Now I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, I was about to say, it should be about now-ish. So when kindergarten me sees a video game that is also a story, I was enamored. And also Final Fantasy VI has like probably the best sprite system out of like any video game ever. Probably. I love it a lot. It is my favorite sprite art style. And I kind of just fell in love with it immediately. Even at the age of 6 years old, I fell in love with that game. And it would be a very long time before I would play it myself, but like playing and beating it on my own, not watching someone go through it and tell me the story while I look at the really, you know, good, colorful sprites. I think you turn back from undead relatively soon. I also think you might have Drain in your normal forms, so I'm kind of terrified. This should kill if my math is anywhere close. This should kill if my math is anywhere close. There we go. Alright, let's skedaddle out of this place. Just so I can save. Go to the next town. Oops, let's not quick save. We can do that later. Heck of an origin story, yeah. If Kid Me had Chrono Trigger instead, it would have been a very different trajectory for my life. Absolutely. These enemies are basically not worth fighting. One of them is a counter, one of them runs away. They're all kind of tanky. The Gatlings here, they counter all physical hits. The Bighorn runs away. The Tattoo hits pretty hard and also, tanky. From FF6, when I was in 6th grade, I ended up getting a PS1 from my older sister, who I, at this point, kind of assumed that she just took from her then ex-boyfriend. But I don't think there's a better staff, so I think I'm stuck. Yeah. High school, you discovered Chrono Trigger, played Chrono Trigger when you discovered emulation. Yeah, that was a big gateway, too, for some of the other SNES RPGs. Protect is going to be vital, so is silence. Can I get anything else at all? Cotton robes. Yeah, so when I got the PS1, it came with Final Fantasy 7 and 8. Which then came with, and then later FF9. And then Origins, which was 1 and 2, came out, followed by Anthology, because Chronicle was 4 and Chrono Trigger, which I did not get when I was young. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Tactics, which I was almost talked out of, was a lot of my right before teenage and through my teenage years. And then when I was 16, I got a PS2, which, you know, Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts 1, then Kingdom Hearts 2, which has another fun story that, you know, I like to tell people when they know me better. I've told it on stream before. Also, level up. We played a piano, we must therefore flex. I've gone through all of these. If I have a frost rod, then I have looted the town, basically. TY for flex. Exactly. It's tradition. Kid, oh my god, you're just like queuing up to like get in my way to the frost rod that I still can't use anyway? That's just rude. Now, I'm getting my frost rod. There you go. Do I need items? Not really. But yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, as much as I play that game on stream, I was almost talked out of it. I was almost talked out of it. It was then EB Games, I think right as it became a GameStop, or right before. I forget which. I want to say it was like right when it turned into a GameStop. And I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy Tactics. That doesn't have a number on it, but I'm going to check it out. It looks interesting. And I take it up to the counter. I think I was 12 at the time. And the guy was like, you probably don't want this one. It's different from other Final Fantasies. And being the rebellious little gremlin that I was more, the guy was like, you probably don't want it. And I was like, how about I do? So I got it. And I have played that game so many times and done so many challenge runs, even before I started streaming ever. I have played a very, very inordinate amount of Final Fantasy Tactics in my life. And I was almost talked out of buying it back in, I'm going to say 2000. So I might have been younger than I thought I was. 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. I was almost talked out of it, and it's probably the game I have replayed the most on stream over my time streaming. So you got so obsessed with PC gaming around the time 8 came out. Yeah. Did you play the PC version of 8? I can just attack this guy. I don't have to cure this guy. Especially when I can do damage like that, damn. I think I'll try Magician Forza at level 9. A Factor, what level were you when you beat Marissa Toho and Forza Horizon Zero Dawn? $10? Okay, that sounds about right. I might need to go that high, but I'll try it at 9. Tactics was your very first Final Fantasy, not counting Mario RPG, which I don't, but I digress. The game made you very mad for a very dumb reason. What reason? Had it for PS1, played it almost the whole way through while taking a break from Homeworld. Ooh, okay. Essentially, given how formative Final Fantasy is to me as a human person and also a bird, I just love it so much, I can actually find something nice to say about any Final Fantasy. And I don't get tested on that very often, which is like kind of reassuring that like the visceral hatred of certain games and the weird not gang mentality that comes around liking certain Final Fantasies has diminished in my time. But I love the series as a whole. And while I have a clear list from top to bottom, I still like all of them. I just love the series. I love Final Fantasy. That is just all there is to it. So at first you had no idea you could place more units on the board, kept losing to the second battle. Oh my god, Ramza solo. Oh, I was there at some point. Then for like a week, I didn't realize you could change jobs or how to. Oh, Chemist Squire, unintentional SCC, DCC, I think. Yeah. I should do that. I should do a tactics dual class challenge with Squire and Chemist. I've done Chemist solo, but I kind of want to do a Squire SCC to see if it's as bad as Loverish says it is. Because it probably is, but I know the game very well. So I'm wondering if I could make it work. I see friends do challenge runs or suggest challenge runs, and I try to do them myself. It isn't me trying to, like, show off or one-up someone. It's one of those, this looks like a fun way to play the game. I want to do that. I literally just saved. I don't want to do a back attack. It'll take so long to run away. I'm going to take so much unnecessary damage for no reason. For me, I spent like 3 days recruiting a chocobo and getting a red chocobo out of it, not knowing I was going to get a chocobo for free later. And then the red chocobo I got randomly poached by an archer, and I did not load that save for whatever reason. So there's one battle in Tactics I very secretly hold an unreasonable grudge to. It's the battle right before Kuhul and at the end of Chapter 2. Got a red Choco magic card. Nice. I want to see it. Sacksmith. Yep. Choco, flat. And I didn't think to load this save file. I just like, oh no, my guy, maybe I'll get it back afterwards, and then saved. And then looked at my roster afterwards and like, oh no, I didn't get my red Chocobo back. Did everybody level up yet? I have not been paying attention. No, but we're getting there. But yeah, no, I do have clear favorites in the Final Fantasy franchise, but I'm also not the type of person to like game objectively good, game objectively bad. Because I don't like judging games. And yeah, Aki, I will absolutely check that out afterwards. I will absolutely, positively check that out afterwards. And if you need, like, hugs and support, I will be more than happy to help as best I can in the situation. I won't mention it on stream. I don't want to leak details, but... But I am going to be going for another hour, so apologies. Oh, absolutely would love to look at that. This battle will play itself. Let me look. Oh, that's so... Oh my god, that artwork is so good! The artwork for that is so good! It is a sorcery, and it is a red chocobo, just like kind of in this pose. Just imagine that, but on a red chocobo, and also American box art, that emote. Surrounded by, like, flaming hellfire of meteors. And it's a sorcery. Choco Comet deals X damage to any target. Create a 2/2 green bird creature token with... Whenever a land you control enters, this token gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay, I am gonna fight my way out of here, but I'm also gonna try the next dungeon. And if I fail, I know I can just level and be fine. Now, I don't actually play Magic the Gathering myself, but I can live vicariously through Effector. By the way, Effector of Change is one of my 2 partners in crime for this challenge run. My A side. The other colorations of Chocobo tend to be quite violent, giving rise to the saying, yellow best for riding, aught else best be hiding. That's the red sky at morning of birds. As a bird, I appreciate that. Put some respect on the bird and Chocobo name. Birds are friends, not food. And if you disagree, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, the red Chocobo. And we'll see how much of a meal you're enjoying after several comets play in sequence. I like to do silly voice stuff. I did voice reading for all of Xenogears last year, and my voice was extremely tired, but I got some really good character archetype voices out of it. I'm not like a voice actor because I've never done any voice acting in like an actual sense. I want to and I would love to, but I never have. But I want to. Because, like, doing silly voices is fun. I'm taking the long way around unnecessarily adding extra steps and getting extra encounters. Yeah, I'm just a silly little bird who likes Final Fantasy, silly voices, and I cannot stay on one topic at any point ever for the entirety of time. That is a lot of gil for this point in the game. Considering how much I have to grind, that shouldn't surprise me. Just doing like good practice, actually. D&D is too. I've done one tabletop RPG. I did a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign and freaking loved it. Like, absolutely adored my time at it and want to play another one sometime. Best FF14 emotes. Lalafell Panic. / Panic on a Lalafell is the best emote. PF2 is so fun, yeah. Gotta plan a one-shot of Thirst Sword Lesbians. Absolutely, I would absolutely be down. Very solid, yes. I'm also very excited at what I'm presuming is still a very secret project that I am in the Discord for that I really, really love to see to fruition. Granted, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I'm in the Discord for it and I'm excited about it. How bad of an idea is it to fight these? Oh, very bad. Very bad, very bad idea to fight these. Okay, understood. We'll not go on about Pathfinder, say you like it, and 1E Starfinder, pre-ordered Starfinder 2E. Right, yeah, Starfinder is getting its 2nd edition. I'm actually kind of excited about that based on what little I've like learned about Starfinder. Okay, decently tanky, but not overly so. Never mind, pretty overly so. Okay, you're not too scary. It's compatible with PF2E, yep. Because there was like a class I was, a combination of classes I was looking at for, like not a homebrew, but like we were campaign shopping back when we hadn't even finished our first game yet. And, because I planned out like maybe 6 or 7 characters and only have run one table and accidentally made interconnecting lore between all the characters. Don't mind that it doesn't make sense. I don't care. World building and character building is fun. But then I was looking at Starfinder classes and that became a part of it. That battle took a very long time. I'm gonna not fight it anymore. Okay. Gold needle. These things weren't too bad if Ferris doesn't miss like she just did. Okay, bye. I'm gonna take the hint. Maybe I shouldn't fight on this mountain. Maybe I should just leave well enough alone. When I get around to doing the shuffler again, which the next iteration of shuffler is what I'm calling the Smash 64 shuffler, 8 games based on the original roster without secret characters. I like to refer to Shuffle Time as Dove the Musical. Because I like to sing to really good RPG music, especially when I'm like... It's a habit I developed streaming, because I'm like filling dead air, so to speak. Yeah, I'm gonna use a tent and then just like make a separate save so I don't have to walk down this mountain of not worth the EXP. You know, in case, when I inevitably lose. Everybody get in the freaking back row. Oh my god. Made a distant descendant of one of your Pathfinder characters in Starfinder, and they ended up so very, very different. I made a system, not a system, but I made like a collection of like heroes and antagonists. Not necessarily villains, but I made characters that would inevitably come into conflict with dubious motives and dubious actions in some cases. And like only one of my characters has ever seen a table, but so the one character I did make, a dragonborn, technically human, but I flavored out of anything human at all except for the shape. Okay, so first off, I want to try and silence. Second off, cure your own poison. Name a more iconic duo, Lena and Getting Poisoned. Named Ray. She was a thaumaturge, scroll thaumaturge with a rapier and a tome. She was a tome thaumaturge. I forget what her second weapon implement was. The second implement I went with, right? And she's a dragon, and she's a nerd. She lived in an orphanage that was also part library, so her hoard, quote-unquote, was basically just books and knowledge. So whenever we came across a part of the dungeon we were in, that had like a lot of books or bookshelves, I made sure my character just kind of gravitated towards the books. End game of that campaign, like level like 8, 9 or so, was so much fun because I made a lot of enemies weak to me. And because one of our other characters was a barbarian who, that character and Ray were basically like sisters and got really, really like close in bond. So her anger started rubbing off on Ray and it was the funniest and funnest thing. And I played off of that anytime I got good rolls, like good damage rolls. I'm gonna stay back row for when Forza Horizon Zero Dawn comes out and just pray that silence doesn't wear off. She was well read, but she wasn't like the brightest. She was definitely well read. And I leaned into a lot of recall knowledge because it like really, really good use of my kit, and also like recall knowledge. Oh right, I can learn things about this thing and what it's typically weak to, and make it weak against me, or rather make my weapon do that weakness, and it was just so much fun. But also she was a dork and a nerd, and all of her bad rolls, especially in things like recall knowledge, were funny. Okay, you need to be silenced again. Nice damage, nice damage. There we go. Okay, can breathe. Turret is bonkers, yep. It was so much fun. And our party, we had a cleric and a barbarian and eventually just a human fighter that was like kind of a GM NPC, because like, does arrow not be affected by silence? Hold up. Well, actually, you're just attacking. Are you still silenced and you can just do arrow otherwise? Yeah, you're silenced. Okay, arrow just doesn't care about that for bosses? I swear to God, Blue Mage gets silenced and can't do blue magic. Yeah, arrow is blue magic. Need to take you out. Okay, that's fine. That's not a lot of damage with Protect and back row. Fighters are fun to play in PF2E as well. They can be intricate if you want them to be, yeah. The best part was 3 members of our party had some form of reactive strike. And and our barbarian was really, really good at tripping and knocking enemies prone. And it was so fun to have something get knocked prone and then stand up. You know that image from JoJo Part 5? Of the 3 members of Passione just like kicking that guy while he's down? That was our party. Like from like about mid-game onward. That was our party. Monster skills bypass. Okay. Does that apply to the party too? Because that's a little silly if so. I don't know if I need to silence Forza Horizon Zero Dawn over here. We're gonna, but I don't know if I need to. Get ready for me to do this to a boss that is 1200 HP. Okay. Okay. The actual scary part of this fight is over. Like, this guy can hurt me, but, like, doesn't have a lot of scary magic. 850, okay. Well, we got some time to go. You made a wrestler, and it seemed like tripping actually stays relevant a little longer than grappling, but suplexing is always a good time. Yeah, we had a Leshy Barbarian. A Leshy Barbarian child who was the funnest character ever. And, like, I still think very fondly about that character. God, she was fun. Very fun to play around at a table, too. Because if the party was being indecisive about something, she would, like, the barbarian would just tackle something. So we learned how to be decisive at a table. It was great. Every bit of our Leshy Barbarian party member just, like, absolutely made it for me. And being, like, Yakuza-termed Kyodai with Rei was like cherry on top. Pun intended. Her name was Cherry. And just such a good time. I remember that so fondly. Cherry was very simple. If you were friend, she loved you. If you were enemy, she would kill you. And good God, like Barbarian at a tabletop game, but good God, did she hit like a truck. Seeing some of the damage numbers that came out towards the end. Oh. Giant Instinct Barbarian too. So there was an encounter with a jump to a narrow like platform over magma. So she ran in made the jump onto a platform, and it turned out her growing large was just enough to cover the entire platform and push the enemy into magma. And then succeeded in the check to push said enemy under magma, who then failed the save. And I almost felt bad for our enemy. It was wild. There were a lot of stories like that too. It was just so good. I could probably get away with going front row. Bart's test this for me. Galif test this for me. Lena can stay back row because like that's gonna do 60 some odd damage. That campaign was so fun. I want to do it. It's like shenanigans like that. I'm like, oh, I want to do another one of these. I absolutely want to do another one of these. I think Lena's next turn. I'm gonna Libra to see how far I have to go. It's 70. Okay, Galif can survive another one. Ferris, this is not the time. Anyway, I hope people are enjoying Final Fantasy V's boss track because we're going to be listening to it till the heat death of the universe. Ferris! Can you don't... If you miss again, Ferris, I'm going to boo you. If you hit it, we win. If we don't, if you don't, we lose. I wasn't joking, Ferris. I wasn't joking. You were once playing a wizard in a party with a fighter who could grow large. First fight at the level you could do it, encountered a young dragon. He grew to large, made him even larger, and he grappled and outsized the dragon, took 2 acid breaths to the face, and beat the shit out of it and ran away. Oh, that's incredible. Stories like that. I very much live for stories like that. Now, I would have had an infinitely easier time at level 10. Let's not worry about that. As a GM, you were really jazzed about the stuff came up with Chewie. It helps a lot with organizing the adventure. Yeah. Our GM was new. But as was I, most of the table pretty much had never played a tabletop RPG before, except our GM, but our GM had never actually GM'd before. So, it was a lot of learning curve, but it was so much fun. Became probably some of the favorite parts of my week, those sessions. So I adored it so much. Name a more iconic duo than Lena and Getting Poisoned. Specifically remember the line, "Puny lizards should know their place." Oh, that's such a good line. For fighting a dragon after being made huge basically twice. Playtested it for a table of almost all new players in an exotic city. It was so smooth. There was a little bit of learning curve at first, but we did get into a groove and got into the swing of things after a while. And I think after I sit at a second table, I think I'm probably going to feel a little more at ease and a little less uncomfortable. Okay, so now that we're done with that, I am probably going to need to go to 10 or 11. A factor if you're still around, no pressure if you're not or if you're lurking. What level were you when you beat Garula? Because I don't remember what level I was when I had to do the White Mage start last time. It was pretty high. So, several cutscene singular will play in solo. But I want treasures, so I have to deal with cutscene first. I'm tossing around the idea of putting a table together in my stream server. I'm not sure though, because I'm trying to like clear my plate before I add more to it. Because I've also been dabbling in short story writing. I have a Ko-fi or Ko-fi, however you want to pronounce it. I have one of those. And to justify people giving me money, because I went off of Patreon because, to justify people giving me money, I very recently, as of like last month, started like dabbling in short story writing based off of prompts given to me by people who give me money. And so I've been like, mic is clicky? Is it? Could be I have it at a higher gain than I'm used to, and also I'm not like directly in front of it as I'm looking around because I'm streaming much later than I normally do. There was a big adjustment for you as a player because the terms were very familiar, but the mechanics were quite different. Had to learn that the words meant different things. That makes sense. Levity. I think my gain might be higher than normal, and that might be what is causing this. Because I can kind of, I can't hear myself. Is it still doing it like right now? Because OBS shows it's fine, but also could be a Windows setting. I don't know. I'd have to look into it later. You don't hear anything weird? Okay. It could be on your end, it could be on my end, it could be the gain was too high. Because I noticed when I got loud like a lot today, I could almost hear myself peaking through my headset. So it could be that just like I set the gain too high this morning. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, though. I can do some testing when I go offline and maybe at some point tomorrow. Anyway, give me a heal staff. Oh my god, it's so important that I have this. Could just be that I'm at a weird angle with my mic in general. Cause yeah, it did sound a little off to me, like throughout the day, but I never really thought to ask or look into it. Now, normally I would have long since run an ad, but the frequency with which I ran ads before the train rolled in, I had enough time before auto ad would play to where, I mean, one is going to play in 8 minutes regardless, but normally I run them every hour to get rid of pre-roll. But I had enough ad manager time to where I didn't have to run one on the hour. But I do run 3 minutes every hour just to get rid of pre-roll, and I typically don't play anything during that time frame because I don't like fear of missing out. I don't like the fear of missing out at all. But yeah, normally I'm like never live this late, but I wanted to be part of the raid train because I haven't been super active in a lot of the places I joined over the last couple of years. And so I saw the opportunity. I'm like, it's Pride Month. I can tell my story again. And yeah, I get to, show off the wide, wonderful world of challenge runs. And totally not expand my clientele. Want to buy a challenge runs? Okay, what did I get? Or maybe it's your phone lying to you. It could be. That is theoretically possible, yeah. Did I get a silk rope? No, not yet. It said it was at 67%. It died. Oh. I have been there. My current phone, I had to buy one of those, like wireless charging pad things. Because my current phone does not hold a charge through a cable, any cable. And it started like faking out and charging up to 100% and then just like dying after like half an hour. Like the port physically is very loose. So, I go to put a cable in and I pick up my phone and the cable is no longer in. So I had to get one of those, like, wireless charging pad things. So my phone would actually work. Ooh, something in that pack drops an elixir. Gonna be mad if it's the battery of this model is replaceable batteries. Oh, that's good at least. My phone is very old. It's a Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Not even a 10. Just like, it is probably a 7-year-old phone by now, something like that. I'm gonna go to level 10. And then I'm gonna go to Waltz and I'm gonna try. Thankfully, going down Waltz Tower isn't as bad. Like, it's not like traversing the mountain. Although it might be, I don't know. So while I'm here, I'm actually probably going to get my singular ad out of the way. By singular, I mean still 3 minutes, because for some reason, Twitch being the program that it is, if I don't run a 3-minute specifically, it'll do the auto ad anyway. Got a Kyocera Duraforce Pro 3 at the end of last year, and it's giving you some problems, but it's kind of neat. Heck, cables, yeah. Well said, Blab. So I'm gonna run 3 minutes of ads just to make the auto ad not happen during gameplay. but no gameplay is happening during this time, so feel free to get up, stretch your legs, get something to eat or drink, stay hydrated, take your meds if you need to, rest well if you are heading that way. Otherwise, don't go too far. We will be right back. All right, I am back. Thank you so much for sticking through the ad break. I appreciate it. There we go. I unmuted the wrong thing. Seems to only want to charge wirelessly. I have accidentally cursed your phone. I have accidentally cursed your phone, Rudron, and for that I apologize. Am I healed? Yes. I want to go to level 10 before I make the death run to basement for Elf Cape. I'm gonna want the Elf Cape for Garula. Prefer to charge wirelessly to prolong the charging port's life. It's pretty weird behavior. My current phone was a hand-me-down like 5-6 years ago. And back then, like when the person who gave it to me got it, knew it had a charging port issue and the cord would always fall out. So Oh yeah, I was talking about writing. I jump around topics all the time because my brain is, my brain sure is. Anyway, I've been dabbling in short story writing because stories are probably the reason I'm alive. And I don't mean that in the they saved my life dramatic kind of way. I mean, I believe my purpose on this earth, the thing I enjoy the most about being alive, I guess, is stories. I love stories. I love telling stories. I love reading stories. I love experiencing stories. I love collaborating in stories. I just love stories. And so, like, at some point I probably want to either take an online class or go to community college to get, like, some kind of, like, creative writing class to, like, get better at writing. I've always loved telling stories ever since I was a very small baby bird. And, you know, I wanted to write. I had this idea for a YouTube channel many years ago where I would, like, read short stories based off of a prompt. I would either write or read short stories based off of a prompt in a very dramatic fashion. All these back attacks, I swear. And so I just kind of co-opted that idea for my Ko-Fi coffee, however you want. I always say coffee because it's buy me a coffee. So I kind of kept the idea for that instead. So basically, someone gives me a prompt, and I write a story about it. In examples from June, like, you know, a sparrow becomes a red mage in a Final Fantasy based off of the whims of a Final Fantasy deity. Or Sky, the character in my VTuber model, plays a card game. And on my coffee in the blog section is the story I wrote off of that prompt. Sky plays a card game. And my model, by the way, was done by the wonderful Stark Joker. Wonderful artist. Also did this background. Same artist. Absolutely stellar. This is the captain's quarters of the Carnelian Sparrow, the airship owned by one Sky Lorelei. And I adore Stark Joker's work, if I'm being honest. It's great. Absolutely stellar. So I like to give the artist flowers whenever I can, because the work was incredible. It wasn't just this person made me a VTuber model. This person made me a VTuber model was unbelievably pleasant to work with, reasonably priced, and also I just love the retro pixel style because it fits me, a retro streamer. But like, the streamer, I go by Dove everywhere, and I have for like all of my online life. But this is in fact a character. I just don't stream under this character. But I've started writing for this character. She is a sky pirate. Legally distinct red mage. Because, I mean, copyright. But also, sky pirates are also cool. So I should save. I saved on the ghost boat. So yeah, it was Sky plays a card game, and it turned into like this kind of pseudo-cerebral, like, yeah, there's a card game going on, but that's not really the game at play kind of thing, you know? And it was a lot of fun to write that. And I have lore in my head for Sky as a character. And now I have like a very good vehicle with which to explore those themes. And it's been really good. So realistically, I can get rid of this knife. 3 of these, probably. Probably the leather shield and the leather armors. Is it a jeep? No, it's an airship. Airship would be the vehicle with which I write about a sky pirate. To make it even more confusing, while I go by Dove as a name and an online identity, I actually also have a character named Dove in a story I was writing off and on from when I was like 12. So there's Dove parentheses streamer, Sky parentheses character, and Dove parentheses character. A Jeep branded airship. Oh my god, it would look horrible. It wouldn't fly, it would roll over and crash like all the time. That would be horrible. It would be big and bulky. It would be an airship, but like also kind of a rectangular cube shape. It would still have big bulky tires as just decoration. It would be like metallic bronze beige, awful looking kind of with camo paint. And you would see it flying and then it would just crash into the ocean sideways. That's what would happen. It would somehow catch on the clouds and burst into flame, flying at nothing, put itself out, and then sideways roll, crash into the ocean. Now I'm imagining a Hummer-coated airship. So like that, but larger, bulkier, and even less safe. It runs out of fuel on takeoff, yeah. It takes off, gets like 20 feet off the ground, and immediately runs out of fuel and crashes. It also has camo paint. So I need to save right now because I am going into a place where I'm going to die horribly. But Dove, why are you going into the front row for somewhere dangerous? You'll see. If you don't know, you'll see. How many Phoenix Downs do I have? I'd prefer not to use any of them. I also don't think it matters what row I'm in because I think I'm just going to get one shot no matter what. I made it really far, and that concerns me if I don't make it out of this battle. I'd live off of a defend. Okay. Okay. Not bad. I have 8 Phoenix Downs. This is fine. Elven Mantle. Also, if you're going for the Brave Blade, going in here is a terrible idea because you basically cannot beat this enemy at this point in the game at all. I'm gonna leave you dead and risk this. This is a mistake. Okay, either of them are dead at this point. Cool. The extra for 2,000 gil. Which is a waste because I've used 3 Phoenix Downs, so like I've already not gotten any value. Any of them are just dead at this point. Okay. Relatively not too bad. We'll take it. They can miss. That is the power of the Elven Mantle. It gives a very small chance to just completely evade physical hits. Which is the only reason I bother going for it. I need to keep an eye on the time. I will tunnel vision so hard. In fact, I should, Okay, that is the right channel. I need to make sure. Now, as a kid, you totally wonder if there were 6 beds because you could get 6 party members. Oh, yeah. That would very much be a thing. Phone decided it couldn't turn on. How very generous of the phone. Imagine Final Fantasy 1, but you could play with 6 party members, just 1 of each job. I mean, the game would be ridiculously easy, but like, imagine. Final Fantasy 1 is great because of the raw potential and world building. Like, Final Fantasy 1 has some immaculate world building and a lot of potential. You can create any story in the... Did I just walk through that guard? I am leaving right now. Get the hell out of here. Mountains are nice. Living on top of trees is okay. It booted up long enough to show you 0% battery, so that's progress. Yes. All right, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it the old college try, because I have a little bit of time left before I'm due to raid out on this raid train, so we're gonna try the stopping point of this entire run with the White Mage start. And then I hope, if I win somehow... Hey look, Wyvern. Ooh, you have that. That is not ideal. You're leveling Corsair in 11, kind of love it. Corsair is just such a cool name, let alone a cool job, you know? Hostess Misaki, what is up? Hi, hello. Literally gamble for buffs? Let's go gambling! Ah, dang it. I hope you're having a good time zone. I hope you're doing well. Okay, cool. I can see everything I need to. Cool. You learn dice that give different buffs named after classes, and it buffs them pretty good. Oh, that sounds fun. Maybe FF11 is what I need to break myself out of the doldrums of, like, being burned down on Final Fantasy XIV. I love Final Fantasy XIV dearly. But I am also not gonna lie, I've been burned down on it for a while. I'll play it whenever, like, anyone offers, but... Like, the Dragon Dice gives pet accuracy. Ooh. I am walking back to the save point, in fact. Because I would like to be in peak physical condition for this boss. Need to start your Fiesta. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, like, in my second. Technically haven't finished the first, but, you know. Elf Toad, they do. They look all glory to the Hypno Toad, am I right? Like... You got blue. Yo, the goat start. I mean, it's not the best start Black Mage is, but it's probably one of the best jobs you could get in the entire of 4-job Fiesta. Blue Mage is a win condition, so is Chemist and Samurai. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, you're not messing around from the onset. Uh-oh, here it comes. Kaiser has an emote that is Bart's face. Yeah, very good. Now, can I beat this boss in 8 minutes and 53 seconds? The answer might surprise you. It's not what it's called. Yeah, it is. Actually, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Silence is not going to help. And this boss does do things at lower HP. So we're going to be here a while. I can get away with these attacks now, but they do so little damage that when Garula starts countering things, it's not going to be worth it. And that the rest of the party is going to be here to heal. And nothing else. Okay, you have not started countering yet. Good. Good turn, good turn. Do you start countering now? No. You probably aren't. Yep, now you are. Yep, okay, here it comes. Uh-oh, here it comes. You are just throwing out healing staff heals and nothing else? You are throwing out AoE heals and nothing else? When I don't need you... Oops, wrong person defending. Well, that's not ideal. Okay. Heal. Galoof can get away with a Libra, because I don't think you're going to counter that. 740. We got a ways to go. You did counter that? That's not ideal. Okay, so about 700, little less. $680, I'm gonna say. $640, thereabouts. Rush is not ideal. Okay, this is just gonna be some AoE heals. About 600, a little less. So I'm going to say about 590, because I think I'm going to say 600 flat, so I'm estimating like a little over. Okay, about 550. Really bad damage on Lena, don't want that. Very good. 525, if my math is right. Swing and a miss. That is very bad. Okay, that is about 475. Both of those were on Bartz, who was defending, which is fine. Miss is very bad. I'm gonna Libra, just to make sure my math is right. 429, okay. $370. Okay, good. 320. $300. 305. I'm getting greedy because I can. 250. This music reminds you of an ELP song. Nice. $220. That's very, very bad. You're just gonna have to defend. I'm not risking Galoof dying. Getting reset up again would just take too long. I'm gonna say 270, but that doesn't feel right. $183, actually. Okay, cool. That's just a few good hits. $153. $153, $133, $135. So 100. Didn't do the second hit. $76. $46. I can kind of get away now. I'm just gonna throw AoE heals. I'm gonna raid out, like, any second, so I want to find out what my job is. Granted, in the game's defense, I was getting greedy. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, what job did I get? I'm gonna roll it and run. Mystic Knight? Very good. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will update that later, but that is really, really good news.